Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. First of all, I just want to thank you so much for all your comments. Please keep them coming since it really encourages me to make more of these videos. I also want to help you guys learn as much as you can, so I've actually created a dedicated Facebook page where you can post your work or post any questions you might have for the community to answer. We're all on this XR journey together, so please like and subscribe and join our Facebook page so we can continue to make cool shit together. Anyway, here's your video. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to add sound to your Aframe VR experience. I've already set up the scene here, so all we've got is a plane with a simple yellow cylinder. If you want to pause and copy this code, go ahead, it'll make your life so much easier. There are two ways to add sound into your scene. The first way is to use the aSound primitive, and the second way is to create an entity and add a sound component into it. First, let's try the primitive method. The first thing I'm going to do is go to Assets, go to my music file and copy the URL. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open brackets and go aSound. So of course we want the source of the sound. And then we want to set autoplay. Alright, so now if we preview the window, there we go. Alright, so before I move on to something else, let's look at aSound as a primitive. You don't even have to scroll down to see all the information because it's just so easy. Autoplay, we've just used that so you know what it is. Loop, so that's it just automatically starts the song again every time it ends. On, so sound.on is for if there's a click event that you want to use in order to play the sounds. In volume, we all know what that is. Let's try the component method now. Let's get rid of this. And in this cylinder, I want to add a sound component. I am going to search for sound here. And we just looked at aSound, so the brackets indicate that it's the primitive method, but so we want this one instead. Okay, cool, so now it's the sound component. Again, the properties are pretty similar, so there's autoplay, there's loop, there is on, source, volume, as usual, and there's actually this thing called positional, which we'll talk about later. The other properties I won't go over for now, but perhaps you can play around with it and see what you find and share it with me. Let's move on. So we know that we can just add a source like this. And then we can set autoplay to true. Let's roll with that for now to see what happens. Alright, the sound plays as we expected. Now let's try use another method. Let's try use the on property. Okay, and then set that to false so it doesn't contradict itself. And now the sound doesn't play, but when we click, voila! Okay, like I said, there's this property that is really interesting, and it's called positional. Basically, by default, any audio in Aframe is positional, which means that what it sounds like depends on its distance from the camera. So what it's trying to do is simulate what sound is like in real life. The further away you are from it, the quieter it gets. Let's try that out now. Since positional is already on, what we want to do is actually add an animation to prove that this actually works. So let's add the component in. Animation, property, position, from 0, 1.5, plus 3. Oh, what am I doing? 2, 0, 1.5, 15, 10 seconds. And I want it to come back and forth, so I want the direction to go alternative and loop true. Okay. Cool. Fixing up the last of the syntax errors. And I'm gonna preview. Yes, so do you hear that? So pretty much the closer it goes, the louder it gets, just as we would expect in real life. So along with all these properties, it also has methods, and these methods are designed to act basically like a regular music player. You can pause the sound, play the sound, stop the sound. So let's make use of these methods. I'm going to create 3 buttons for each method. A box. And I'm going to give it an ID of play with a color of green for play, and then a position 0, 1, -2, scale 0.3, 0.3, 0.3. Let's get rid of this animation because we've proven our point now. Copy this box to make 3 of them. Okay, so play, pause, oh, yeah. And let's change the positions up a bit. So this is on the right hand side. We want pause to be in the middle, and then we want stop to be on the left hand side. So we'll make that -1. Oh, my bad. It should be on the x-axis. So stop is on the left, play is on the right, and pause is in the middle. I'm gonna make the pause button blue and the stop button red. Okay, that makes sense. And then preview it again. Okay, that's exactly what we were expecting. Cool. I'm gonna set autoplay to false, actually, so we can prove a point here. So now you got these 3 boxes with different IDs and different colors. Let's actually write a component that will use these methods to control the music. Okay, so as usual, you start with aframe.register component. And I'm gonna call this component sound controller. Okay. And then in the method, I'm just gonna put the init function. Okay. The first thing we want to do is add an event listener. So to add an event listener, we need something to listen to the event. So let's grab the element in which this component will be installed into. Just this dot element. So then we can go control button event listener. We're listening for a click, and if you think about it, we are going to install this exact same component into all 3 buttons. We need to know which button we're clicking. To do that, it's a simple solution. All we need to do is get the ID of the entity. Let method ev. So now we know what we're clicking. Let's try it out. Console.log, whatever the method is. If we preview this now, it doesn't work. And of course, the problem is because I can see 2 now, we haven't installed the sound controller into each box. So let's do that now. And here, register component starts with a lowercase r. Okay. Right, So let's try again. And when you go console, yeah, see? It prints out pause, play, and stop. Alright, so we're going good so far. That's exactly what we want. Let's actually do something about this. So we've got the method, and all we need to write now is an if statement. Method is play. Then we actually need to use the play method on the speaker. That's one thing we're missing. We forgot to get the speaker itself. So let's call it speaker equals document dot query selector, and I think I've named it cylinder. So cylinder hashtag because it's an ID. Okay, so now we can go speaker dot components dot sound dot play sound. Okay, and then all I have to do is copy and paste this if statement 3 times. Oh, why did I say spieler? I think it's literally 5:30. What time is it? It is, yeah, 5:30 p.m. and I am tapping out. So play, we're gonna make this pause, and the last one should be stop. You guessed it. So play, pause, and stop. So now if we try again, yay, it works! Moment of truth. Pause. Whoa. Stop. Start again. Hey. Hopefully you learned something useful today, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you. Hey guys, just a quick update. I've been super busy pivoting my business to focus more on AR and VR. There's going to be a lot of new stuff coming, so please hit subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated. Building the XR community on this channel really means a lot to me and brings me a lot of joy. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.